Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Fata Morgana. Today's going to be really quite nice because we're going to see Michelle be betrayed by Giselle, and we're going to see the entire village go towards the mansion, and obviously we're going to see what happens, and let's be honest, I don't think anything good is going to come out of it, so I'm really quite excited to see just what happens. I really am. And my god, we have got the most nightmare-inducing theme that really gives you a hellish atmosphere, which is quite nice to listen to while while reading about the morbid events that are going on. Obviously, we saw the water dunking torture where they get the just as a means of interrogation, where they get the bucket full of dirty water and they just constantly get Giselle's head and dunk it into the water, and then they just they just quickly let her get a little bit of breath, and then they just force it back in. We saw that scene as well, that horrible scene, and just how the villagers have reacted as a result of the new tax system that has been brought in by this new lord that has come to the village, and obviously he has destroyed everything, of course. Yeah, my god. A very odd background. It really looks surreal, if anything. It kind of reflects the nature of the village as believed by the people that are in the village, just the belief that this place is totally cursed and there's nothing but evil lying within the forest. Oh yeah, totally. And it's messed up. It really is just not right that you have ended up here, but yeah, you just had the best luck being saved by oh fuck, what was his name again? Yeah, Amidi. And then yeah, you're just having the worst luck coming back here, being betrayed by Amidi, ironically. I know, it's just such awful luck. I wouldn't have. Yeah. Is God that kind, though? That's something to think about. Is he really that kind? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and actually seeing the mansion in the daytime as well, it feels like something we really haven't done that much, and yeah, it looks very traditional. And if I'm going to be honest, I am genuinely surprised about just the quality of the architecture, just considering how long the mansion has actually existed. I mean, just how many people were involved in building this mansion that is in the middle of nowhere and that is totally abandoned. It's just such an unusual location for something so precise to be built. The fuck? What is that? Oh my god. Oh, right. It's a bit of fluff from my hoodie or something. Weird. Looked like an insect. Yeah, oh yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah, my god, and just judging by the really bleak and uninviting description, you can obviously see why all of these villagers would have the awful associations that lead them to believe that this place is cursed. It's creepy. It is very creepy. Yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, it's not impressive for you, but obviously these people in a village that is right next to the mansion who have never ever seen this, of course it would be impressive. And just when you contrast the size of the mansion compared to the average house in the village, I think that is also something very notable for them. Yeah. They, after all, they want to live. They will do anything so that their lives that they had before this could possibly return. Yeah, totally. They could be walking to their death for all we know. I just find it really interesting that the door was not barred until Giselle started living there. The door was completely unlocked, but then it had become barred. And I just find that really interesting. I wonder if we'll get an explanation for why that is. It's Michelle probably thinking, I don't want any more dodgy people in my house, let's bar the door. Which he surprisingly hasn't done before this. Yeah. You would have expected a witch to live in a place as weird as this, but that's not the case. I feel like a door like this would be very, very heavy, but they probably can. No respect whatsoever. You sure they're going to listen to you? Why would they do that? Yeah, seriously, I think that's hilarious. Just getting... I mean, these people were so scared that they are only resorting to barbaric methods of, well, getting in. But the only thing is, I mean, they are thieves, so I don't think something like this is a good idea. But to be fair, I mean, they could knock the person who answers the door unconscious, and then they could steal their stuff, I suppose? Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. No, it was the villagers. It wasn't Giselle's fault at all. Yeah, just promise something that's never ever going to happen. Brainwash them. That's seriously what he's doing. God. Oh, yeah. God. They really are like a total mob, like a total pack of wolves. Oh my god, the door's been broken. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. It really feels like they're warriors and they're just within their most primitive state. Kill or be killed, or, well, not really kill in this case, but battle or die, basically. Get punished, go to prison, stuff like that, for not having paid your taxes. Yeah, how brutal. Yep. I mean, I suppose it's good that she's not one of them, but at the same time, it's awful. It must be very unpleasant. Yeah. Very, very noisy as well. Above everything. Yeah. Oh shit, it's this soundtrack. I was not expecting that. Oh my god. They are not aware whatsoever. Holy shit, this is going to be exciting. Like I said, remember the scene at the end of chapter 2 with Yuki Masa? This is kind of what I'm thinking of. I bet you Michelle's going to kill all of them. Oh my god. He's going to look really cool. I want to see his face. We're not being shown the eyes. I bet you his eyes are fucking merciless. Alabaster, what a word. I just find it really surprising that Michelle is very, very prepared for the looters. And he's not scared whatsoever as well. And it's interesting that he is taking this with such a lack of fear. But maybe like Yukimasa, he is going to be a master swordsman. Yeah, because ultimately these people were breaking the door down, shouting like hooligans, but what are they? Deep down, cowards. That's what they are. Do they actually have bravery? He does look cool in this CG. And if anything, he really doesn't look like a man. Or is that just me? He does look surprisingly divine. You call him a demon just because of how scared you are of him. And obviously all of the stories surrounding the mansion. Obviously, Giselle was not listened to whatsoever. Yeah, fair enough. And isn't it ironic that he has red eyes? Kind of similar to the white-haired girl in a way. I mean, white hair and red eyes, the same, and obviously very pale skin. Oh, for fuck's sake, have I got to reconnect my AirPods? My audio's glitching. Oh. I'll play for a bit more, and if it acts up again, I'll do it. Oh my god, what a cool CG. God. The witch's curse is real. Interesting that he says that. Her purpose. That's really unusual. So it's ironic to think about the fact that in these times, people just call anything that they're afraid of cursed, and they try to just rationalise it with some sort of unknown explanation. I suppose it's just kind of like being defeated at a lack of ability to comprehend something. You can't comprehend something, so you just label it as something you can't ever understand. Like, for example, religion. Who would ever know the truth about religion? And obviously characters from, well, stemming from religious tales like devils, demons, stuff like that. Are you sure about that? How are you alive, if that's the case? Or are you a ghost or something ridiculous like that? I find it really odd that... No, it's really interesting that he has traits that would make him seem cursed, and that is how he latches onto people in terms of fear. That's interesting. You are the people who try to break in. And if anything, if you're so scared, run. If everybody splits up, he won't be able to get... He won't be able to kill them. All. I think Giselle should tell the truth here. And just say how ridiculous these people were being. And how... Well, ultimately, this is the worst thing. She did it as a means of desperation, as a means of retaliating from potential death. You still agreed to do it. You're not innocent at all. Everybody's guilty, in a way. But Giselle did it just so that she wouldn't be tortured and, well, used as... I remember I did not say this, oh my god, no. I remember hearing somebody say, the property of the village. Yeah, I mean, this is not an eroge, I get that, but the implications that could have. Not a desirable lifestyle, let's just say that. I wonder what Michelle's going to think. God, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what Michelle would do. He's not going to kill them. I'm surprised. Surprisingly civil. God. Interesting. Oh, of course he would have. Hold up. So I suppose there's only the two outcomes. One, the curse is actually true and this provocation is quite realistic, or the curse is not something that is genuinely existing. Yeah, Amidi is totally gone. You're back to square one. I know. What is Michelle going to do to you? That's the worst thing. You've betrayed him after all. Yeah. I mean, there was kindness, but then the world around us showed its ugly sides as a result of that. Everything here was destroyed. God. Oh my god, I know. That's the worst thing to be said. Fair enough. She's terrified. Yeah, no, it's reasonable. It just feels like everything that she goes to and everything that she does in life just yields the worst possible outcome. Yeah, it's just the case that life is rough and you're finding it hard to kind of keep up with the flow of it, really. Something very important that he's going to say, it seems. Oh my god! Look at him. Wow. God, what a different sprite. And what I find very unusual about Michelle is the fact that he is actually going out of the darkness. Yeah. I mean, the worst thing is, I think the best thing Giselle can do here is tell Michelle her story. Maybe he will understand it. I don't know. Maybe he'll be able to relate to it or something like that. It is true. Yeah. And she's being totally honest. If I'm going to be honest, I really get the impression that Giselle's just losing the will to do anything and to carry on because life is so unfair, it's so difficult for her. Why should she even try? His sprite looks so cool, I love it. Yes. Now, this is where you tell him why you were desperate. Fair enough. He is a total victim of all of this and he has a right to ask this. It's just he's very scary and we feel bad for Giselle, so... yeah. Oh, no, he seduced him. He seduced her. That's... you've got it the wrong way round, unfortunately. That's not true at all. Yeah. They were desperate. What are you going to do? Just say something. She's probably so scared that she can't. That's a common character trait, and if I'm going to be honest, in a brutal world like this, it is the worst character trait to have. He's totally got it right. Yeah. And yet, after all of this betrayal, and in Michelle's mind, betrayal, I mean, objectively, sure, it is betrayal, and obviously, her just getting the worst, Michelle just making the worst conclusions about what she's doing as well. For example, Giselle being a spy. Yeah, it's just all totally reasonable. Yeah, no, I see that actually, yeah. God. This is awful. I mean, she's just so dejected that she doesn't even try to bargain for her life or anything, or just having Michelle have the right idea of the situation. She just doesn't care anymore. She's just totally dejected because I suppose everything she does just results in failure. God. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Michelle never expected that. Yeah. And now you're just seeing... I mean, obviously, Giselle hasn't said anything about what she is wanting to do, but at the same time, Michelle is just seeing the raw emotion within her and just how much pain she is going through. And I really do wonder what he's going to think about this, because he's definitely somebody who's experienced a similar level of pain. I just wonder if he's going to recognise it and recognise that this is probably somebody who is experiencing exactly the same thing as he was, really. Yeah, fair enough. God. This is the worst thing. Yeah, so now she's kind of saying her thoughts. She doesn't even care about the fact that Michelle's there. She's just saying her thoughts. She's just so dejected that she doesn't care about her situation at all. She's just speaking her mind. And that is how you can tell somebody who's properly stressed. Yeah, and totally. Oh my god, it must be a bit weird for Michelle to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, sure, somebody who is doing this is quote-unquote giving information out about Michelle. No way. She did always try her best, but the world is cruel. It really is. Yeah, that's fair enough. That is kind of like a reoccurring theme of all of the situations that are really quite big that happen in Giselle's life. Just everything is her fault. Everything can be blamed. Everything can be blamed on her. I see that. Yeah, I don't blame her. I really don't blame her. I mean, her life must be so tricky. And especially because of the fact that you were in a completely unknown place. You've tried so hard, like she was saying, trying to put on a smile, trying to get to know people, trying to make the best of her situation, but because of the fact that her situations are always so cruel, it's been impossible. God. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just the lack of coherence is really significant. I mean, it's just, obviously we know because we know her story, but he doesn't. Of course he wouldn't know. I really think she should. I mean, how can you ever think somebody like this is acting? Well, I mean, they could be a world-class actor, top of the top, but no. That's not Giselle. This is properly from the heart. Yeah. Yeah. God, she's finding it so difficult just to say anything, just because of... Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. There is no two ways of saying that. That's totally true. Oh yeah, your father that you thought was such a good person. He is the biggest scum of the earth. Michelle's directing his hatred to the wrong person. Yeah. And how can you ever not believe something like this? Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's just totally just traumatized here. It must be it must be really quite shocking for Michelle as well. Yep. She didn't, I totally agree, and that's the most sad thing. He probably doesn't know what to believe. I mean, it's a very shocking revelation. Yeah, no, totally. God, I know, and it must just be so awful. I mean, something like this, obviously, there's, with the traumatic things that have happened to her, it's just, you kind of say that they live with you forever, but I mean, how could something not live with her forever in particular? Because every time she looks at the lower part of her torso, you just see those horrible, well, that horrible word marked on her that has been cut with a knife. Yeah, it's fucking cruel. Yeah. Why would somebody like this do anything for money? Who would ever do something like this if they had this little of a will to live? Oh my god, is he actually going to do it? God, she's just going totally crazy with just the want to be killed. Doesn't surprise me. Can I just mention he did all of that interrogation with pain. His eyes hurting. Yeah, true. That is a door. Jesus Christ. Yeah, poor Giselle. I mean, my God, you just totally see. This is just totally somebody collapsing. And just all of... just everything somebody has stood for just coming down and being destroyed. Fair. Sure, but what would have also happened? You would have had a distorted impression of your father. Sometimes, no, all the times, I think knowing the truth is better. I mean, it's kind of a weird one, because if you live within a world that you have been lied to, if the lie is for your benefit, well, not really for your benefit, but to make you seem, well, just so that you won't realise what is actually going on, then maybe it could be a better world. But is it a more correct world? Is it right to disguise the truth, even if what is being disguised is more kind than reality? Yeah, totally fair. And I really do wonder what his hatred towards his mum stemmed from, and also why he can bring the family down, and also why he's here as well. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. But I mean, oh my God, isn't that ironic? We're by the fireplace. Oh, totally. She is in absolute shock. You've got to give her time. You would have lost everything, and I really do wonder what that is. Maybe Giselle would have suicided if you hadn't opened said door, and obviously if you have, she could have talked it over, and maybe something good could have happened. But it's interesting, what has happened here is Michel has always had suspicion with Giselle, because obviously he's had a really quite bad backstory himself, and as a result of that he's always paranoid of people being moles and getting information and using him, and he just suspects Giselle to be like that. He doesn't talk. Remember the white-haired girl and Jacopo? That's what this reminds me of. They had, I mean, obviously these people weren't lovers, but at the same time they had problems where paranoia was the result of. And then what happened is they grew distant. If they had just talked, they would have been able to have the problem solved. It reminds me of that. I'm always trying to spot these little links that you can make to the stories, because I think it's interesting. God, I know. Yeah, and you can just totally see a personality shift within Michel. I mean, it's just interesting sometimes. I mean, it's horrible about the fact that Giselle has these emotions and she's had so much grief that she can actually face challenges like this. but at the same time it is good in the sense that Michelle has just been able to see her from her most honest point of view. She doesn't have the energy to to put up any fronts. No way. God, I love this piece of art. Yeah, fair enough. Well, just tranquilise them. I see that. Make them feel at home. I mean, it's not really the best thing that... It's not really the best that he's doing it, but... Yeah, just do everything you can. I don't blame him. Yeah, it's interesting that he's not blinded. No, Michelle's an intelligent man. He's not totally blinded by his impression. Sorry, by the impression he has of his father, and he's actually willing to hear what Giselle's saying. But I think that's just from how raw her emotion was and how honest it was. Very awkward. Yeah, fair enough. It just totally shows how cut off he has been from social interactions. I'm similar, but yeah. Do you know what? He's really not as bad of a person as you'd think. He's just really paranoid. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. If I'm going to be honest, I feel like Michelle is showing another aspect of having a lack of understanding for these situations. She's just been so traumatized, so upset, and just having such a hard time coping with everything. And then he's just kind of reintroducing what she has found so difficult. Yeah, I mean, sure, he does want to know so that he can understand and he can view Giselle as, like he said, an actual person. Yeah, of course. Of course she has something like this. Nobody ever believes her just because she feels... And it's just horrible. I mean, she's been cast down to the lowest points of society. Like, she's a servant. So, of course, nobody believes her over authority. And that's just the saddest thing. And she's an outsider in the village's case as well. Well, you're going to have to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, true. Is there any point in even saying it? Yeah. Yeah, and you can just totally see it. I just find it really interesting that this is a lot more of an honest discussion. Because obviously Giselle's honest feelings might be mentioned here. But yeah, that's just because of the fact that yeah, that's interesting. He's not being always being honest. Yeah. Yeah, it's more honest. She will actually say everything. God, look how dejected she says. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who would not believe her? Just, and it is just interesting seeing her totally just let out and reveal her honest feelings, which she's never been able to do before. Just the feelings of how little people believe in her just because of who she is. Oh my god, so a new track? Yeah. Yeah. Must have been a very, very difficult tale. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see that. It's just... I kind of notice that whenever I look at news reports, just reporters talking about the most awful and sick things that are happening in the world, just completely emotionlessly, just conveying the facts, having no emotion within their voices. It just kind of reminds me of that in a way. You're just simply quoting the facts because you're just so dejected that you just can't feel anything. Totally. Yeah. No, I don't think so either. And I think it's just interesting. Honesty is the only key. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, maybe he knows what it feels like for the wounds to be opened. Yeah, no, totally. And you should have treated her like a human being rather than just somebody who is an object of your paranoia. He was so mean to her. Really, really hostile. Yeah, and he just realises how much of a mistake he has made. Yeah, no, I totally see that. Yeah, no, I don't blame him whatsoever. Yeah. No, it's horrible. And I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I think the worst thing about this is he has done something as disgusting as this. And it's not even ended there. The white hair Giselle is the person who has gotten all the blame for something despicable like this. That she has not done. She's totally innocent. If anything, she's more than innocent. She is on the receiving end of the crime. Oh my god, I know. If anything, I am kind of surprised to a certain extent that Michelle wasn't the result of him, well, having sex with somebody non-consensually. I mean, after all, he said that his very existence could bring the family down. Or maybe not non-consensually, but Antonin having an affair, which, let's be honest, he would probably do. Yeah, no, it's very difficult. Oh, God. He probably doesn't want to know. God, look at her eyes. Fucking hell. You can just totally see how zoomed out they are. Not zoomed out, how, what am I saying? How open they are and how big they are. It's just, yeah, it's just such a lack of peace evident. Of course he did. Look at, like, the scene that we saw just after all of the villagers went. Oh my god. Yeah. He can, fully. There is one that is very, very realistic. And visible. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously, he's got the idea of what happened. That's enough. Yeah, I don't blame her. Fair. Isn't that interesting? But I just find it really interesting that what Michelle is doing in this conversation. It really feels as if he is taking a very neutral standpoint. He's actually really quite concealing his emotions just of the disgust that this horrible, horrible man who has lied fully to him is somebody who is somebody who he's made from, basically. But actually, I take that back. He hasn't been lied to fully, but at the same time, he's lied to everybody else, which then made his mum think that he was... No, sorry, Giselle was the person that seduced him, rather than the other way around. Yeah, totally reasonable. Poor Giselle. Yeah, to be fair, that is actually a really good point. I mean, you hate your mother, absolutely, and then you write a letter to her, and then you just think that everything she says is correct. But at the same time, I mean, let's be honest, he was paranoid, he was mistrusting of Giselle, so I suppose sometimes when you have bias and then you see information, because of the fact that it aligns with your bias, you kind of confirm, you kind of take less time to confirm that information and the true validity of it, because it aligns with what you have previously thought. And I've actually experienced that quite a bit. I mean, obviously not in context this morbid. If I'm going to be honest, it's more within school related stuff that I've experienced it, but yeah. Exactly, yeah. You did? Exactly, yeah. Yeah, very true. It's a total mistake. Yeah. What are the witch's whispers? Chinese whispers. God, I remember that. He's not trusting of people, but judging by the fact that he had a bad childhood and a bad past, he's probably not really been treated similarly to how somebody who would trust others would be treated in his past. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and this is the thing, if you don't open your eyes and you just live within the world that has the truth that is most easy to comprehend, then you hurt people. This could have all been prevented if he just looked the other way. Seriously. No. She wouldn't have lived in the village if it wasn't for Michelle. God, if this Lord never came over, what would have happened? Yeah, God, look at how dead she looks. Just recounting all of these events. Yeah. Executed as well. Just listen to how cruel that word sounds. Yep. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what Michelle thinks of this. Which is what she tried to do. And you can just see how there are so many good intentions that Giselle had. I'm sorry, but like, this person has done the most disgusting thing a person can do to another. To her. Or at least one of the most. There's unfortunately probably a lot more awful methods of torture that somebody could do to another. But anyway, that's not the point. Yeah, you do something so disgusting and then you just get a letter. You don't execute Giselle because it's within your best interest to keep Michelle looked after for some reason. And then you just get this person you have been so disgusting and inhumane to, and you ask to look after her. And do you know why she does it? She doesn't do it because... Well, she does it because she's kind, sure. I won't deny that. But she does it because she cares about her family. That's always been the theme of this. And my point is, you actually looked after him. True. Yeah, that is a good point. Why would he do that? Or was it because of not wanting Michelle to discover it? Was it the mother? Ooh. Disgusting, man. Yeah. If anything, oh my god, I thought this was within his self-interest because he's just an arsehole. This is what arseholes do. No. You do something as disgusting as you did to Giselle, and then you make her perish in a mansion that is fully isolated in the darkness. No food, no nothing. Yeah, food? Ha, lol, what is that? Yeah. Sanity as well. Never heard of that before in my life. Like, seriously. What a horrible man. True. I can't believe that. Who? He has a brother? I'm surprised. Well, they seem like very good brothers if they're not even coming to visit him at all. Well, I mean, to be fair, everywhere's a lot less connected in these times. Maybe it's impossible for them to do so. And also, these people have got reputations. They kind of want to cast him into the darkness. He doesn't know, though. I'm surprised. I wonder why the father thinks Michelle's dead, though. Didier. What a weird name. Georges. Why not George? Why Georges? Who would call their kid a plural? Or you could say, like, there are 5 Georges in this estate, or something like that, I don't know. Oh my god, these earphones are pissing me off, hang on. So now we've got kind of an element of mystery, their stories. An element of mystery about just the true nature of Michelle's family that I wouldn't have expected, to be honest. Alright, there we go. Not even Michelle knows, which I'm very surprised about. Really? I mean, he's been in the dark for 10 years, who wouldn't be? Yeah, okay. That's... he's not getting the letters, possibly? And then, if that could be the case, then you've got to evaluate the trust you are placing in your carrier pigeon guy. Well, all carrier pigeons, dude, these are pigeons. How would they ever... I mean, you can't fully rely on them, can you? Maybe you just... Well, no, why is that... Why could you blame the carrier pigeons if they perfectly delivered the letter to the mother? I mean, I get that that's only one occasion, but you would have to have seriously bad luck for every carrier pigeon not to deliver the letter. I just find it really interesting that Giselle's story totally puts concern into Michelle's story. Yeah, that's fair enough. You are more important, Giselle, than Michelle. That's what he's thinking. Now, it's going to be the story about the village. Totally reasonable. You put a fucking knife on her. Fair. Oh god, I know. It was only thanks to Amidi that she was actually able to restart. She wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Let's be honest here. I know, that must be horrible for him. It really must be. It's just... It's very preventable. I mean, let's be honest, nearly every tragedy is, but especially something like this. Exactly. She doesn't have the energy to, I don't blame her. If you don't believe me, kill me because I've got nothing left to live for. I suppose that's what she's trying to say. What, do you really think somebody like him was approachable? And let's be honest, this only happened because she had given up on life. Only because she showed her raw emotions to Michelle. Do you really think she would have wanted to bring up something like this to somebody she's barely known? None of this would have happened, true. But I'm sorry, I think he's being a bit ridiculous to think that within that part of the story where she was literally being threatened with a knife, he was somebody who was approachable. I just don't think that's fair. And obviously, he was somebody who you could have a conversation with about something like this. It's just not fair to say, I don't think. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't blame her at all. And this is just the most horrible thing. You just feel as if you've learned everything about how this person's life is absolutely horrible, and then there's just more. And if anything, this is probably one of the most vivid things because it shows just how much of a psychopath your father was. Yeah, and I mean, she was totally losing her composure with everything. She was so scared that she couldn't say anything that... I mean, she couldn't even breathe. Reasonable. So much trauma. So much. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're doing that without even having realised. And that's the worst thing. The lack of knowledge that he had before. Yeah, well, the thing is, this is what happens when you threaten somebody without any understanding of who they are and what they have been through. Yeah, that's going to be interesting because maybe we're going to learn about Michelle's story now and just why he was so provoked. Yeah. Such a lack of understanding. Yeah, totally reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, sure, he's understanding Giselle now, but like she says, she has nothing left. You understood everything that she had in life way too late, because she's probably going to kill herself still, unless Michelle really, really changes. Yeah, fair enough. God, mentally, yeah, totally. Yeah, and he should know that. God, that's hilarious. He just, and oh my god, isn't it ironic? Oh, I thought Michelle was a noble person's daughter, noble person's son, and the maid was just a humble servant. Who's the one in command of the situation now? I just think that's really quite ironic, that. But yeah, fair enough. She's got a full right to say that. But this is just one of the cases where I think Michelle, like the white-haired girl, no, like Giselle, sorry, probably has a really quite bad past, and this is just unfair taking out of said past onto Giselle, just because of the fact that he was paranoid and he was provoked and he resorted to violence without any indication of just what it would do to the other person and just how horrible doing something like this is to Giselle. God. You can just really tell Giselle and how she's been affected by these incidents. But it just totally makes sense. He's part of the problem. Do everything you can to make it so that to redeem yourself. It doesn't even matter what you do to redeem yourself, you've still done said action. Well, the fact that he actually agreed, well, not really agreed, but he willingly did that. Yeah, reasonable. No, that's reasonable. And what's nice about this is Giselle was actually seeing the trust within Michelle. And if I'm going to be honest, I think this is the beginning of their relationship. And it's obvious that these people fall in love because of just the existence of the entire story of the maid. But what happened? What killed them? I mean, judging by door 4, maybe it could be the case that the village killed them. I don't know. Oh, he would. He wouldn't have, if you ask me, had she not shown the most honest display of her internal thoughts. That's what I think. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he had to hold back on what he was learning just because of said fact. Yeah. Yeah, it must have been a face that she must not have seen much of. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Which is something that Michelle really couldn't do before. But I mean, obviously it's totally reasonable because she could not see the side of Michelle that is actually good, let's say. She only got his bad side in the beginning. Yeah, totally reasonable. I mean, I think it's only natural. You tell each other's. Well, you listen and she says your story. She probably feels better from having told somebody about her story and not being judged, not being ridiculed or doubted for it. Is it for the village? Yeah. Yeah, is it? Totally reasonable. Why they did it is anybody's question. Exactly, yeah. And I bet you the people in that room looking at her with the water bucket torture scene, I bet you they were the thieves, the people in that room. Maybe not Avidi or people like those, but probably some other people who were in that room were. I think Avidi really did. And just the amount of times he suggested to get married, and obviously the amount of times something like that would lead into sex. Yeah, it kind of gave me that impression. Is the world really kind in times like these? It would be hard to believe that it would be. Maybe. You really can't tell. That is a way of thinking about it. Yeah, I see that. Exactly, I totally agree. Yeah, and it's sick. But do you know what Giselle's doing? She is finding a better life than she could have ever had in the village somewhere else. That village is chaos. You do not want to go anywhere near there. Yeah, let them believe that you're cursed. Oh god. I do wonder if what's going to happen at the end of chapter 2 within Fata Morgana is going to happen in this chapter. The village is going to come back and I don't know, they're going to kill the people that they think are cursed. Or maybe Michelle's going to murder them. Or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, and that shows that Michelle properly understands Giselle. I mean, obviously horrible situations have happened in her life, but maybe something good is finally coming to her. Yeah. True. I think Michelle was more in the wrong than her, but still. She did have things that she definitely could have done better. God, I know. But people don't control who they have been born from, so of course she will be able to forgive that, or at least that's what you'd hope. Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. Yeah, reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of chapter 3 with Maria and how Jacopo gets all the blame for what his father did. God. Giselle actually smiling and laughing. It's something you never thought possible. This is all thanks to Michelle. Him making her feel like she is welcome here and that she can actually talk and mention her problems to somebody. Fair enough. Sometimes you just need relaxation and you just need kind of a... I mean, she's really, really stressed and obviously everything is crumbling down for her, so she just needs distraction from that, I suppose. Yeah. Well, it's just the sense that you see somebody who is totally innocent and somebody who has always tried to be nice to you. And somebody who is incredibly strong, let's be honest here. But yeah, you just see a good person deserve, well, get the emotions that they deserved, i.e. happy emotions. Of course he'd be happy. That's really sweet. God, so now we're going to see Giselle's feelings. But to be fair, oh my god, I know, because she never would have gone to the village, and also it's the case that she would have been able to just not reach her breaking point. But if I'm going to be honest, the worst thing about all of this is she, in order to get close to him, she needed something like this to happen, just something that lets her see honesty. Because Michelle never ever trusted Giselle before, but it's honesty. That's what changed him. That is very, very true. And if I'm going to be honest, the only reason she had courage before and when we learnt about all of this was just because she was so dead and so emotionally stricken that she just didn't even care. She just said everything unfiltered. But yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be honest though, look at how horrible and sick of a story that she has. I don't blame her whatsoever about the fact that she has not been fully comfortable to talk about said story. I mean, who would be? It's the most sick story. If anything, I would actually think somebody is a bit weird if they were comfortable about talking to somebody that you barely know about something like this. And if I'm going to be honest, they barely know each other, they barely have the understanding. Why would Michelle have believed the fact that his father is a complete... Well, if he was alive in modern times, he'd be called a sexual offender. Well, no, he'd be called a rapist, but like, yeah, you get what I mean. That's fair. But he was very, very insensitive and obviously expressionless, just simply because of the fact that he believed this person was someone who had bad intentions. Oh, he totally did. And I mean, if anything, ironically, he is a person who knows what love feels... Sorry, he is a person who knows what love feels like. Remember that part in the point of view where he said about the other lover who was here? That, oh, Giselle didn't need to know about. Who was that? Was that the witch, or was that the person in the painting that is totally carved out and... Well, maybe that person in the painting is the witch. Or maybe there's something different. I don't know. Oh, totally. You don't actually know about his backstory, but it really seems like he has. I see what she's saying. Fair. There is, yeah. And yeah, you can just totally see impulsive behavior from Michelle when that one scene where he just totally gets her shoulders and grabs them with as much strength as he can just because he's paranoid. Paranoid, paranoid, paranoid. A lot of paranoia. Yeah, my god, this is going to be exciting. And in the dark as well. Yeah. There's so much to know. Fair. God, look at how serious he looks. Yeah. He's finding this really difficult, yeah. Reasonable. God. God. Yeah. Oh my god, so that's really interesting. If there's a lot of hostile things that Michelle has said, is it to Giselle or is it to this? Oh my god, interesting. God, is this some sort of schizophrenia thing? Well, not really schizophrenia, but auditory hallucinations that he's having. Or, like he was saying, the whispers of the witch, what is that about? Or is it something that then, with a lack of psychological understanding from people, they would think it as something like that, like the whispers of a witch, but now we would kind of brand it as a, no, sorry, we'd label it as a auditory hallucination. I wonder. Just a really loud gust of wind. Holy shit. Not what I was expecting to hear whatsoever. No, but I think this is actually true when we think about the whispers from the witch. Because, I'm sorry, but with the allergic to people thing, I just instinctively thought that that was false. I don't think this is false. God, awkwardness is... a lot, let's be honest here. I don't know. I mean, I think there's indication of the fact that he's killed people. Indication of the fact that there's lots of persecution, especially from his mother. His mother sounds like a horrible woman, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, after all, who would marry a man like Antonin? Let's be honest here. I know. Fair enough, there's always this distance. I suppose what Giselle was saying is true, in a way. It's only fair that Michel shows his side of the story after Giselle has been so vocal about hers. But then again, what she's trying to say is it's kind of like an exchange, that he has to do it. He doesn't have to do it. If he's not comfortable with doing it, he shouldn't be forced to. From the beginning, I'd assume. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Emphasised in that scene especially. Yeah, and it does make sense. It's similar to the white-haired girl in that sense. So different. Somebody who really stands out from the crowd. I see what is being said here. What? Jesus Christ. Why? Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Must be horrible. And I think it's ironic that Giselle didn't have that first same impression. I mean, obviously she wouldn't. She's not so susceptible to religious belief. But at the same time, I mean, it's just interesting in the sense that she, even if she was susceptible to it, she wouldn't have been able to fully make out his features, and obviously the fact that he has white hair and red eyes. It's just unbelievable to think about the fact that he was banished here just for how he looks, constantly persecuted for said reason. And that's what caused all of this. They did, yeah. Reasonable. Yeah, isn't that ironic? Yeah, and I suppose there's always the talk about the Archangel as well, which is quite ironic given Michelle, because people think of him like a demon just because of how, I suppose, he has this really, really unusual white hair, and yet he has eyes that kind of tend towards the colour red. And I suppose it's kind of, he has the hair of an angel but then the eyes of a demon. It is quite cool, that concept. Such an unbelievable time scale. That is a very good point. But the only thing is, this is the worst thing about his condition. It's on his face. It's how he looks. Everybody will suspect him. Yeah. Oh yeah, son. That's, of course. You know, it's just he's the worst physically as well. Yeah, I suppose so. Ah, I see. Yeah, by the person who is monitoring you. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust that person who is watching him, especially considering that he has links with his awful family. It is interesting that he was sent here, and it's kind of a rumor that he is dead. It's as if he's disappeared. Yeah, that's sick. Fair. Yeah, him standing out makes escaping the worst. That's totally fair. I mean, this is his family. Of course he would have had hope to return to where he was born. Such an awful, lonely lifestyle. It really is, and it's just sad that it's had to happen. I mean, it's just so unfair. It is so unfair. And that's the case for both of their lives. Both Michelle and Giselle. Yeah. It's just sick that it has been normal. Yeah. God. This is probably the first time he's told somebody else about this. It could be reasonable, yeah. And without sunlight as well. I mean, I get that he's sensitive to sunlight, but still, it must be very damaging on human health to have such a lack of it. Yeah. Yeah, it is very, very interesting, but after how much she has been able to connect, it doesn't surprise me. I like that she emphasises that. I was kind of thinking that, I don't know, for some reason there'd be some sort of difference here. I.e., he's not fully telling her everything, so as a result of that. I mean, if the context was different, I would have thought this is just kind of mocking everything. He's not going to fully be honest, so let's just have a master and servant relationship. But no, it is interesting that she's still willing to play this role. And what's also interesting about Giselle is she doesn't even need to hear anything about what is going on with Michel, truly. She just needs to know that there is something that is troubling him. And she believes him. She really, really does. So much so that she doesn't even feel as if she needs to hear the context. And that's how you can tell that you properly trust somebody. True. Yeah. Total change. God, you never would have been able to think that. It's ironic that in the beginning she kind of had this jumpy personality, which was a little bit of a front. It was just her trying to totally chase away her issues, but now she's doing it because she is genuinely happy. And if anything, she's beaten her problems because she's talked about them, and now she feels so much better because she has somebody who believes her and somebody who actually accepts her judgment over other people's. Someone where her rank doesn't matter. Reminds me of Jacopo, in a way. Interesting. I wonder if the family did it. Or maybe there is something a lot more morbid about the past. We know nothing about the witch, i.e. Morgana. And it is interesting, when we see the door 4, we kind of see an example of the witch's whispers in the red text. God, it's so cool, the backlog stuff. I love that. Yeah, fair enough. Good. Yeah. Yeah. And it so nearly didn't happen as well. Yeah. I see, so I think this is Michelle's chambers, actually. Oh, their story still. Interesting. God, that was really nice. That was really, really good. I enjoyed reading that. And it was nice just to see everything change for the better and for Giselle to get justice after all of this time. She experienced it. God, it really, really is a rough story, but at the same time it's very interesting, and I'm happy that it has gone like this, and I'm going to be very interested to find out what will happen in the other choice as well. The choice where we deny all of this and we accept the story of the white-haired girl. I just wonder whose hand this is. I really do. It's definitely somebody significant to the story. I mean, these are some of the most significant characters, so whose hand is this? I mean, it looks male, so maybe it could be Michelle's. But his hand looks so weird. I don't know whose hand it is. Oh my god. I'm so excited to see more of Michelle's stories as well, because we've only really touched upon the surface. The fuck? Anyway, I got a bit lost. But yeah, it'll be nice to see how this progresses, and just in general what happens with the relationship between the two, and how it reaches its end point, because I just really wonder what's going to happen in the end, because obviously in door 4 everything ends, so we know that everything will end within this door, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens after this. And we did see with the maid, Giselle just wanting to run away more and more and more, wanting to totally forget all of her past and even the good things that happened, just forgetting it entirely and wanting to build something new with the white-haired girl. Yeah. God, the story is all coming together very, very nicely. And I'm going to be very interested to see just what will become of it. So, yeah, see you guys in the next one.